Supergirl is about here, and let's talk about the comic that inspired the movie. Let's get right into it.
Welcome to the Dingus Den.
Welcome to the Dingus Den, everybody. If you like what you see here, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for a bunch of cool comic stuff and reviews such as this one, where I'm joined by Andrew to talk about Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. Is your first time reviewing a comic, you said, so that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited.
And this is something I've been wanting to do for a while, and very fitting because even though this is a comic-based channel, Andrew, you've been here with all the DCU reviews and before the Cape, and so your presence has been here on the channel, but not for a comic yet, which we finally have that. We're finally changing that today, and
Exactly.
so
I've done comic voiceovers, but not reviews. So
oh yeah, that too. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so always fun. So yeah, I'm trying to think of what to say before we really dive into this. This series was released in 2021, 8 issues. I'll say going into this, this is I just finished rereading it just shortly before we pressed recording here. But this is a story that I think it was great. I think it's a great story. The first time I read it, I remember I was just like surprised by me actually liking something that Tom King wrote, because I kind of wasn't. I want to go back and give a lot of his other things a shot again that people are a big fan of, such as like we're also getting his Mr. Miracle adapted into a TV show.
I heard
That'll also
about
be
that.
worth a really good review sometime. But this is the first Tom King book I fully read that I was like, oh, this is actually really good. It's a different flavor of Supergirl than what you usually get. And it's also just a really nice self-contained 8 issues as well, I'd say. And it's really interesting because after rereading it, I was able to like connect a bunch of dots and stuff from like what you see for what you read in the comic to what we saw on screen, as we know this is getting adapted, coming out like just under a month from now. And so that's exciting to see this story be adapted to the big screen. Hopefully they do it justice. We'll see. I have some thoughts on that after kind of reading some parts of it here and there. I'm hoping they do it good,
Have hope.
So, I have the hope they'll do it good, but
yeah,
we'll see. But yeah. What do you think about this though?
Yeah, so first time reading it, I had a lot of fun with it. I thought that it was a fun read, it was a fun adventure, a lot of heartfelt moments. Millie Alcock, I feel like fits this Supergirl really well, because I was reading this and I was like, oh, that like fits the vibe that they went for in Superman, obviously now what we've seen in the trailer for Supergirl. And I will say there's a lot for 8 issues here, which I liked.
These are meaty issues. I will say I notice how long I usually take to read an issue. And these issues, all of them, except for maybe one of them, took me like longer to read than you usually do.
That's what I noticed, because I was like, oh, I'll read this in an afternoon. And I was like, nope, I guess I'm going to have to read it in 2 afternoons.
It's also one too that I really like to. There's some comics that's harder for me to binge, and this was one of those, just because I like to let each chapter to kind of stand on their own.
I do too. I like to like process what I just read.
Yeah, this comic I think does go a bit deeper than other ones that you may just pick up and go read, and that's not necessarily a dig. It's just like that's how some stories are,
Yeah, no, it was good. I liked the substance it had.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's some stories just out there like Watchmen. You just read an issue 2 or that, and you're like, all right, I need to let that.
Yeah,
sit
I gotta read that.
That is a must read. And so, but yeah,
I
let's
gotta say, I think it's my first. Sorry, I was just gonna say, I think it's my first Tom King comic to read. So
I was about to
off,
say this
off to
is
a
now
good start with him.
not that I was gonna say it's not a big one. I'm
Yeah.
sure they'll do, or I don't know if they have done a DC Con. I've like not kept track of everything they've done with DC Compact because they keep on coming out with them.
Oh, I
Every
know.
every now and then I'll see a new one and I'm like, oh, that's cool. But then
Yeah,
there's
it
like
was
just so
nice
many that happens.
being able to carry around. Although sometimes I was like having to read like this.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
There was a couple times I was looking at it and I'm like, I wonder how that would be on a DC Compact because I
Yeah,
just had
no,
the
it was
standard trade.
pretty easy to read.
That's
So
good. That's good.
yeah,
Yeah, I hear it's not as bad as I would think it would be sometimes.
yeah.
I hear they're pretty nice. But anyway, let's get to talking about Supergirl though. This was this epic space fantasy adventure. I think it really is the best way to describe it. It really did feel
Hmm.
like a fantasy story in a space setting. Um,
Yeah.
and so I am hoping that kind of the movie will hopefully try to lean into that a
Hmm.
bit. And so, but let's get into the story. Supergirl, a Woman of Tomorrow. We already mentioned that written by Tom King. Also, Bilquis Evely did the art for this. This was also nominated in 2022 for an Eisner, so that's really cool.
I say
So
the artwork might be my favorite part of reading this. It was just
it's
so pretty to look
pretty
at.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you get a good look of it there with Supergirl and Ruthie,
Yeah.
which will soon get to know who she is. Um, yeah, you do get a lot of great artwork with
Oh
this.
yeah.
That's for sure. It's she has a really uh I'm gonna say sort of like a unique style, which I
I was gonna
really
say,
appreciate.
yeah, it's
And
yeah.
so yeah, we get the opening here. So we get to learn first off, we get the narration through the book, which is
Hmm.
interesting because it's not Supergirl narrating the book.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
I didn't know going into it that it was really gonna be from, like, Ruthie's perspective of
Yeah.
her telling the story, but I will say as I was reading it, I grew to like it more and more,
Yeah.
and especially at the end when it ties everything together the way it does, because the movie kinda it's like Supergirl following her, and then Ruthie comes along, and this one, it's, starting with Ruthie and
Yeah.
her explaining her past, and she finds Supergirl, by
Yeah,
chance, really,
exactly. Yeah, it's interesting because I was trying to a lot of when reading this, I was thinking about how it's going to be adapted to the movie, and some things that we know
mhm.
are going to be adapted to the movie because such as what we see from the trailers and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And that was one of the things I noticed is that it's like, well, it makes sense for a movie that they focus a little bit more on Supergirl than they would with Ruthie,
Yeah, it does for
uh,
the yeah.
especially when it's the main introduction to the character in the DCU in a
Yeah.
sense too. So there's the parts there that line up and you're like, okay, yeah, I guess I understand it. But
Mhm.
for this comic though, it's really nice framing. And
Yeah, I
it's one of
like the
those
silhouettes.
yes,
Yeah.
that there is really nice. Um, something that I thought of a lot about too, with as far as adapting the story to, is there's a lot of ways that this story is told, and like this narration as part of it, certain images that we'll be sharing here shortly, where it's what do I want to say? It'd be hard to adapt into a movie. And it's just
Mhm.
one of those things that's like I understand they're retooling parts of the story to work better for it being Supergirl's first movie.
Yeah.
And so I also just hope that like that certain retooling of parts also works here too. There's all those
Yeah.
things too that it's like it's allowed me to I think kind of tamper my expectations a little bit because
Mhm.
like I think the definitive version of the story at the end of the day is always going to be this comic. I don't think
Oh,
anything on
yeah.
screen could ever beat how this works because this comic uses the comic medium to its fullest
Yeah.
of having this narration through constant parts of the imagery with this. The only thing you could ever maybe get close to is animation, but even then, I'm like, I don't know,
Exactly.
you know?
Well, and
So,
that's the thing that I feel like most of the time they do when they're adapting a comic is they just take core story beats and turn that into the movie, you know, because
Yeah.
even while reading it, I was like, "Oh, that's in the trailer," or, "Oh, that's gonna be a plot point." It's not gonna be identical,
Yeah.
but it's the essence is there.
Yeah.
Because it would be hard to do. There's several panels in here and artwork where I'm like, "Yeah, they couldn't do that in a live action movie," but,
Even if they could, I thought that'd be a lot of CG money that
it
we do
would.
not have.
No, whole budget would just be for that one shot.
So it's like I can understand budgeting reasons too, especially for something
Yeah,
that, like, let's be honest, at the end of the day, this Supergirl movie is gonna be a more niche movie. She's not
yeah,
as huge of a character as obviously Superman or
no,
Batman. So, but
yeah. We'll be sitting in the theater going, "Well, that's not how they did it in the comic," you know?
comic schnubs.
Yeah,
Uh,
push up our glasses, you know?
yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway, so this comic begins with what sets off this whole story, which is where we find Krim, was a king of the Yellow Hills.
Yes.
Krim of the Yellow Hills, that's what it is.
Yeah.
As he goes through, and he stabs Ruthie's father and murders him in cold blood, and immediately follows where we see Ruthie, who then finds the blade he was killed with, and her
Mhm.
father is just laying there. So she immediately wants revenge, and that's what sets
Yeah.
off this whole story here. As she's determined to go set out and get her
Get someone
revenge.
for hire. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's trying to find somebody for hire there. And so we see that, with this conversation here, obviously meeting who looks like the most strong person there. He's like, "Ah, no, I
Yeah.
don't want to do this."
And she's like,
Um,
"I'll pay you." She's like, "You can have the sword. It's,
yeah,
worth
right.
more than"
And then
so
there we see the drunk Supergirl, which we've seen before at the end
yeah,
of Superman. We saw
yeah.
her there.
I thought it was
And
funny because how she just, turns she's celebrating her 21st birthday, and I was like,
yeah.
"I just turned 21." It's like, slightly different birthday experiences there, but, you know,
What do you mean? You
uh,
didn't go to a space bar and get drunk with a bunch of
I got
humanoid aliens?
honestly, I don't remember. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I wish,
uh,
but,
hey, take me to space and drink in a Spalian bar, and I think I'll take you
yeah.
up on that offer.
We'll make it a tax write-off for the show.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Just be for content, so.
exactly.
Oh.
Oh, man.
But, yeah, so we see some drunk Supergirl in action, which is very funny. I'm looking forward to seeing this sort of Supergirl back into at least
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie. And
I
so
love I love the humor here because she's like, "This is gonna hurt for you," which we get that line in the trailer. Uh,
yeah.
Different moment, but how she's just sitting there vibing and this guy, is like, "You're a girl, this is gonna hurt you," and, I love how many times she, like, swears in the comic, and they bleep it out
You bleep it
bleep
out,
it
yeah.
out and censor it, but it was just so funny. Um,
Yeah. That is they do that a lot in comics to try to keep it
yeah,
to I think it's a rating thing maybe,
yeah,
because they wanna try to keep it kinda like to T
yeah.
rating or something like that. But yeah, so we see that and, we
Ruthie's
see
like,
her
"You're
a
in
bit
your undergarments."
Yeah, that was funny,
That was
yeah.
yeah.
And yeah, we see a hungover Supergirl there.
Mhm.
And so she then starts going back to her ship, and Ruthie then follows her because she's like, "Oh, this is the person who I need to help me now," because she beat up
Yeah,
the big guy. So follows Supergirl back to her ship, and from there, Ruthie begs her,
yeah,
and looks like Supergirl's not quite sold on this moment. I mean, she tries to do what she can to try to like talk her down,
yeah,
but she then gets shot out of nowhere. We just see a normal arrow pierce her, which is important to say because this is one of those planets that uh it's under a red sun, which means that she
yeah,
turns like normal,
yeah.
essentially.
I was like,
Um,
"Ouch."
yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so there we see Krim, who shot her, and not only did he shoot her, he also shot
Shock.
Crypto.
Yeah, that got me.
What a I was gonna say, "Oh,
I
you suck.
yeah, I was like, "Get this guy out of here."
Get him out of here." Yeah,
Well,
I
and
mean,
That's what surprised me too, is Crypto, and maybe he won't in the movie. I mean, this is really it for him in the story. He's referenced, but as far as like seeing him again, I'm pretty
That's
sure this
true.
was it. Yeah.
That is true.
So this better not happen to him in the movie, or we will storm DC
I will say,
Studios.
I don't like how so it really threw me off when we first watched the Supergirl trailers. I was like, I can't figure out who's Krim because he looks so differently in the movie. I mean,
Oh yeah, I need to go back and rewatch the trailer.
I was actually hold on.
The ship though in the movie, the trailer, if I remember correctly, looks pretty similar.
You may be right about that one.
Yeah, I can't fully remember. I need to.
This one is Krim.
Oh my.
Very different.
Wow, I would not have guessed that.
And I was like, wait, he's that? Okay. He's a bit different than this redhead here.
I was gonna say he looks way more like a Viking and like scary in this one.
I know. I'm like, yeah.
Could have kept the look. I'm not gonna nitpick too much. I feel like you could have kept the look, but
yeah. It's like, wait, why'd they do that? Anyway, that was one of the things I noticed. The being like, I just hope it doesn't make him completely different. So we'll see.
Yeah, because he was pretty menacing. I feel like throughout the whole story, even when he's not in an issue, like his presence is still sort of there.
For sure. He definitely one of those villains where you always kind of feel him there.
Yeah,
especially since he's the main driving factor of everything that happens. And so, so we see this initial standoff. Supergirl knocks out that big dude. See Krim gets terrified and runs away to the ship and escapes. Because it's also important to say that when Ruthie also found Supergirl, like the ship was already started up and started to get
going.
Ruthie
tries to go after Krim and he just kicks her.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a cool art.
This is a fantastic shot here. Them just getting left behind. Crypto and Supergirl are shot and just left there. And so, and then we get into the next issue.
This was hilarious.
This was hilarious. I hope we get this moment in the movie.
I do too. So she goes on her whole like monologue, and she does it twice, where she's like, "I bought this seat," da 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 da, and you see she points to Supergirl. And Supergirl's asleep, and the alien's like, "Her?
Huh?
Huh?
Who? Her?
Yeah.
She's nothing."
Yeah. Thought it was great.
So having to get space public transportation since Supergirl's deep in a red sun system, so they have to travel several light years out, or however big it is.
Yeah.
And so something else that we obviously see in the movie there, right, or in the trailers there. And they go to the space station. Which I wonder if this is like where they're tying in the whole Lobo thing. Because fun fact,
that's what I was wondering. Yeah.
Lobo was Tom King wanted Lobo in this comic originally. Something that he's gone out and said, but the DC wouldn't allow Lobo to be used because of him being used for something else. Maybe his own sort of series or something. I don't know.
That was one thing I was wondering because I was like, oh, Lobo's not in here.
Lobo is not in the comic. Yeah. So interesting how that worked out. Yeah. So, but I do hear like here at the bar though, kind of New Hope-esque here. You see a bunch of aliens, and you literally see one of the aliens, which it's like he has like a bottle capped nose or something.
I know. I was like, he looks like a Star Wars droid.
I like it. A fungal dude. I don't know. I like it. It leads into the sci-fi-isms here.
Yeah. Well, I love how he approaches her and he's like, "Are you Supergirl?" And she's like, "Well, I'm wearing an S, wearing a cape. I'm not Supergirl,
So if I'm not Supergirl, who the fuck do you think I am?" That's what she says.
Yeah. I just thought that was so fun.
It was pretty fun. And this is a great point too, because this comic is showing as well the differences. Well, first off, it's showing the effect that Superman has on Supergirl, but then it also makes a point to kind of show the differences between them too, which is important too, because back when like Supergirl was like kind of first a thing, people are like, do we really need two of these super characters?
Yeah.
And I think now the comics have done a good job to distinguish the differences between them than Supergirl just being here's a woman version of Superman.
Right,
This is something
exactly.
that this importantly stands out of being her own character.
Yeah. And I
Uh,
think a lot of people just think that's the case. I'm like, no, there's a lot to her character actually.
there is. That's
Yeah.
true. For sure. And so anyway, space bar fight, and they go back. And look at that.
That's also cool artwork right there. All the
See, it's
the
things like this
dragon there.
where it's like shots like these of like this is why the comic is going to be the best place to experience this story. Because
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get anything cool, crazy, cosmic like this in the movie.
Yeah.
I wish I'm wrong. I just don't think so.
Yeah.
You
The
know?
movie looks like it's more on the grounded side of things,
It
which is
does feel that
yeah,
way.
which is not I mean, I like the trailer even before reading this, but
Mhm.
it's like you said, you want the more cosmic side of things. You got the comic, and you can experience the story there. So,
Yeah. Hopefully,
mhm.
it's two good, unique flavors of the same story. I'm hoping.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see. Find out when we
Mhm.
review Supergirl after it comes out.
Yeah. I'm so
uh,
excited. So the comic
yeah, we're
honestly
so
got me
excited.
even more excited. Like I'm like,
It's awesome.
it'll be cool.
Heck
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So, but yeah, so we get we see Supergirl here. Well, the taxi driver or bus driver, whatever you say, is like, "Sir, can you please help?" And she's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I can't do anything right now. I'm in a red sun system." But she's like, "All right, anybody have anything to help me?" And she takes a pill and then takes it.
Mhm.
Something that has a little bit of
Red Kryptonite, which
red
we've
kryptonite.
seen in
Yes,
Smallville.
we'll be talking
So,
about it on. Well, actually, it would have already had happened
yes.
once this video comes out, where we talked about the season 3 premiere of
Yeah.
Smallville Before the Cape. Go check it out, everybody. um,
Yeah.
but yeah, red kryptonite. We get a little bit of that here, and making her eyes turn red, and she
Mhm.
powers up here. So that's really cool. Like this is like some crazy cosmic.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of Phoenix from X-Men. Like here,
The
yeah.
colors, I was getting that vibe, yeah.
Yeah, definitely like that. You see her just fly off to that big space dragon. It's so cool.
It's like
It's
if that were a poster on my wall, it would look cool.
I was about to say I would love to have some like a print
Yeah.
of that without the text right there
Yes, yeah.
for sure. It's pretty amazing. I mean, just see her smash through it. That big celestial
Mhm.
dragon. It's really nuts. Like just the cosmic
Yeah.
scale of this comic is crazy.
Y It's like as self-contained as it is, there's those shots that remind you that they are traveling through space and,
Yeah.
um oh, this part
Yes,
was
I do love this part
funny
too.
and kind of heartfelt at the same time, them sharing this
It's one of the
moment
big
together.
parts of this story of seeing
Yeah,
Supergirl teach Ruthie her ways of life.
yeah.
And so, she, teaches her
Like,
this
stuff
thing
that's,
about
like, foreign to Ruthie, like, you don't
yeah.
realize
Yeah,
it.
teaching her to wash her hands,
Yeah,
which is a big thing here, and
yeah.
that and why it's important and all that, and 'cause that's something that she doesn't know on a
Mhm.
fantasy back world, because that's the last thing on your
Exactly.
on your
Yeah,
list of things to do. And
yeah.
so, um,
Part
I do
2 of
really
the
enjoy yeah,
Pete
right.
monologue was funny, and
Yeah,
Supergirl
so
actually was awake this time, or she woke up briefly.
she did it very
Yeah.
quick. She just, like, got back her powers, it seemed like,
Yeah.
and boom, 'cause you see the yellow sun now, she's okay. So,
Mhm.
um, and, they get back onto the planet, and Supergirl's then starts showing Ruthie that, "Yep, she has her powers back. Let's do this." Where they then start investigating a planet, and this was a really interesting chapter.
Yes.
But Korean was like these blue and purple aliens that we see, and they didn't wanna talk about the purples, and, like, the whole
I was like, "What is
society
going
of
on here?"
people. I know, right?
But I love how Supergirl just doesn't take crap from anyone. So, like, the
No.
guy was, like, stacking the cards or whatever, and she just blew him down. Um,
Yeah,
and,
for sure. It was
yeah.
pretty great here, and, fantastic overview shot here.
Yeah, I like that
Really cool.
a lot.
Um, but yeah, that she looks through this and realizes, well, everyone's blue.
Yeah.
What does this mean? Because they're still trying to find Krim. This whole time, they're still trying to go find Krim. Um, because it's also important to say too, because Supergirl tells Ruthie that crypto is poison, so they have to go find crypto
Mhm.
or get a cure for crypto. And then
And it's like
it,
Krim is the only one that has the knowledge
yeah, of
that
doing it because they need like what it
yeah.
came from, and then Ruthie is one who only got a good look at him, so they need to make sure that she comes along, so they knows who they're hunting.
Mhm.
So that's why they're investigating here at this point. They're trying to find where the heck Krim is,
Yeah.
and so yeah, they're looking through Krim here, um, or looking for Krim here, and we're getting all these different interactions, and we actually see it here somewhere here of all these different places that she goes through,
Yeah.
asking all these blue people. She's nobody's saying anything. She's with purples, they don't want to say anything about it. So she knows something's up. Attempted assassination happens.
Yeah.
Something's going on here. We don't know what.
It was
Um,
cool hearing, Ruthie describe what she felt right here when the bullets were ricocheting off of Supergirl.
yeah,
Um,
that
I
was
just thought
really
that
cool.
that was,
That
yeah.
was a really nice moment.
It kinda slowed it down a little bit,
Yes.
which I liked.
Yes. Very, very good moment. And then Supergirl leaves and confronts the mayor, and
Where
he's
it made me
totally
think of in Superman, "Where's the dog?" When throws
where
the
is it?
desk.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Really is that there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, and so anyway, she's like, "All right, we're having no luck with these people here, so let's go find things our way." Another beautiful shot right here.
Mhm.
Love it all so much. So anyway, they go to this place and dig around, and they find a place that belonged to was that called Purple Town? I think that says. And
I
then
think
all
so,
these
yeah.
bodies.
Mhm.
So then she then goes back to the security guard, asks for
Starts
answers for it all, and that's when we then learn about this mercenary group who's absolutely
yeah.
ruthless that tore the galaxy, and we see their ships and stuff in the Supergirl trailer as well. These
Yeah,
these
I liked
mercenaries are
the
ruthless.
way it looked in the comic. I don't know if you can
It's
see
pretty
the
fantastic.
2 pages there. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks amazing here for
Yeah.
sure. Um, Pretty cool, and showing about how part of the bargain deal with them was they
Mhm.
traded Krim, who is now part of that mercenary crew. So now the threat of Krim just grew even more because now he's part of the intergalactic evil gang. Like they're a lot like the reminded me of the oh my gosh, the Ravagers from Guardians, but
Yes.
worse.
Yeah.
Essentially, is the way to say that. I'm like, think of the Ravagers, but like they're how they
Mhm.
look at first, but actually bad.
Yeah.
Uh,
Exactly.
so,
I feel like they
um,
did a good job of really setting him up as a villain and, like, how dangerous the,
mhm.
brigades are.
Yeah, no, they
So
did a lot to set it up. And
mhm.
so as we get into the next part, and they're actually seeing the destruction of what's left behind because they are, they lost a lot of time because of having to go through public space transportation.
Yes.
And now that they don't have to, they are able to freely go from planet to planet, um, and experience and find all these follow the trail of destruction that these mercenaries left.
Mhm.
And just really realizing how brutal of a group it is because you're seeing them destroy essentially civilizations for the fun of it. So
Yeah.
it's like, and
Got pretty
so
dark there for a moment.
it is pretty. It really is. Like here's somebody that she found that's the only living person, and here
Yeah.
accounts about somebody just stabbed right in front of it. It's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
Pretty
even
good.
here with
All the graves. Yeah,
all the graves and, not
and
knowing where his daughter was and, uh
Supergirl helping him there. Yeah, it
yeah.
was there's some deep stuff in this.
Mhm.
Even though we're doing a basic overview of this whole story, I do always encourage everybody to always go read whatever
Oh, yeah.
stories, even if I do talk about the main plot points of the story. There's a lot of great characterizations with this that we're not necessarily delving deep into either, but like it is a great story at
Oh,
the end of the
yeah.
day. Um, I need to I might try to find some other Supergirl things to read before the movie as well. Um,
Mhm.
but it is a great Supergirl place to begin with,
Oh,
and
yeah.
so we get this interesting part with a sort of like giant dude.
Mhm.
where Supergirl just like lets him let out his rage, his emotions there. Um, then there's this other part where she goes to this planet where they're finally able to have footage of them, but she doesn't want Ruthie to
Mhm.
see it because Ruthie's just this little like teenage girl, so she wants
Yeah.
to, protect her. So she's like, "Stay out here as I go look," and she's waiting out there. And we just see Supergirl's kind of out there as a changed person.
Mhm.
We see her eyes there. It looks like a little bit of the detail, like maybe she was sobbing there, of the
Yeah.
shadows of her eyes there, just saying like, "Yeah, I saw all of it." You can just tell
Yeah.
she's out of it by the way she's talking. And
Mhm.
so, they find this one mercenary that I guess was left there. Um, and uh, yeah, that mercenary has got yeah
Annihilated.
annihilated. Yeah, so we see all these people kind of cheering there, and we hear then see these people that didn't want to like do anything as they got annihilated, and we just see Supergirl's angry. So she goes right into the heart of a sun, yellow
Yeah.
sun. Gets right into it, and she's just saying, "Yeah, we're close. Next planet, we're gonna see them. It's gonna be
Mhm.
there." Um, and so yeah, so then she gets on Supergirl and they go. So
I love how it's like, offering her a piggyback ride, and Ruthie's like, "What's that?" Can't
right,
remember if it
never
was
heard of that.
there or if it was the one before, but,
Sure,
yeah.
yeah. Um, but yeah, halfway through the story, we then get to see Krim in action again here, where we see Supergirl and Ruth then find him, but he then uses his magic orb and sends
I thought
them
that
off
was pretty
somewhere else.
cool.
I was gonna say that
Yeah.
was really interesting. I have
Was
a
it they
feeling
called it something globe, like,
what is
ah,
it called?
I gotta find it because I'm blanking on the name.
The it was called something, and I don't remember what it is.
Let's see if I can find it here.
But this is one of those things that does show like super people are typically weaker compared to magic. A Mordru globe.
That's right.
And so, anyway, they get transported off to this world of dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Um, and it's interesting. So, we get a point in this where Supergirl's talking about where she's like, Superman was here for 45 minutes once and got rescued by the League. That was a very
Mhm.
specific reference. Um, and I was like, because it's like you just don't say something like that and not be referencing
No.
something, you know? And so I
Mhm.
was looking this up, and we do get a name for this planet. I think it was like Batar or something like that. I could be wrong about that. But I was looking it up, and I looked up. First, I was like, "All right, what's the first appearance of Batar?" Apparently, it credits this comic because when it was shown before, I guess it didn't have a name. Either that or Google is just wrong. Um, but
Probably
then
Googled this been wrong.
you look up something about a green sun here, which is important.
Mhm.
And as far as I can tell, there's only been one other time that a green sun has really been shown. It's in an old comic, in an old Superman comic that's not even on DC Universe Online or DC Universe Infinite, which I was looking at because after I read this issue, I was like, okay, I kind of want to go back and read this old issue of originally
Mhm.
what that was talking about, and you can't find it legally online. Well, so they'll just leave it at that. um, which means DC, come on, we want to see what you're referencing here.
Yeah.
So for an auto story to be readily available, it's a really cool deep cut to be referencing this old Superman story, issue 155 of the original Superman run,
Yeah.
which is really cool. Um, yeah, just what a pull to be,
Mhm.
random pull there is something that people don't really talk about, and I don't
Nice
think
little,
that
trivia
really,
piece for,
yeah,
Supergirl there.
yeah. Um, and then uh yeah, so let's like I had a theory about this planet too, but we'll talk about that here
Mhm.
in a moment after we kind of see what's involved with this planet. So anyway, essentially, because it's a green sun, it's like what if the sun's kryptonite, so it just completely makes
Yeah.
them sick. And so, Supergirl, there's this whole thing of, well, the only way to make the sun rays go away, well, it has to turn night. So here
Yeah.
we see Ruth having to uh, protect Supergirl for 10 hours. And this is another thing too of being like Clark, Superman. He was only there for 45 minutes.
Yeah. 45
Supergirl's only
minutes
doing
is
it for
nothing.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And so we're seeing all these things here. You know, we see these dinosaurs come up. Um, and yeah, like look at that. We got a cool big like action bit here is
Yeah.
Ruthie fighting the dinosaurs. She's really learning to stand her own here.
Yeah.
Um,
It was a nice character growth moment, I feel like, for her.
we do get to learn a
Yeah.
little bit about her. She reveals some nuggets to her character with the backstory that she gives here.
Mhm.
Yeah, such great narration with all of it. You know, seeing all those.
And not realizing that killing a creature would just bring more creatures
I know, right? Got to
to
be
eat
careful
that
about those
creature.
space vultures.
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, you're seeing all that, and you know, Supergirl's just barely hanging in there. Hard time, but then
Used, like, all her powers up right there.
yeah, she used them
Yeah.
all for a moment, and yeah.
Mhm.
So, and then
Of course, right as the sun is going down,
right, we then
this
see
behemoth comes.
Space Indominus Rex here.
Yeah.
Uh,
That'll be in the new Jurassic World movie, I bet.
exactly. I'd watch a Space Jurassic.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we found this new island on this planet. Yeah, we gotta send
Uh,
a team there. Yeah.
Dinosaurs on Mars.
At this point, why not, you know?
Let's do it. Oh, so anyway, Supergirl wakes up and punches this like a freaking dinosaur. And you know, and here we see Rutha's spacesuit, is that's what she's, you know, wearing to help safely travel through. And they're able to once again start in their journey again. Um,
Mhm.
and so we do get like a little bit of Supergirl flashbacks here, which is very interesting.
I liked this, especially as I'm not too knowledgeable on Supergirl. Like, I
Mhm.
know a bit of her lore, but, like, getting an issue that basically was spent fully on her backstory was really nice.
Yeah, and also framed in a different way than you normally see it too, because it's
Yeah.
like kind of Ruthie's reaction to experiencing it, right? I mean,
Mhm.
like, oh, now I understand so much of where she came from, and so much
Yeah.
worse than my backstory, right? She lost everything
Mhm.
3
Yeah.
times is what it was. It's just like, okay, yeah, you make this whole reference is just crazy. Um, and so, yeah, this all happens as it happens all again. This time, Supergirl's ready to deal with that special globe. But
Mhm.
this time she's running Comet,
Comment, yeah.
which a beautiful shot we see right there
Oh, yeah.
of it there. Um, I was trying to remember. I couldn't remember this. Do you remember where Comet came from? Because Comet kind of just appeared. I don't know. Remember if they said
I
anything
I
specifically about where he came from.
I don't think so. Not I mean, they reference I think towards the end, I think is where but not specifics like where he came from, because this I believe this is the first part that we see him.
Yeah, they didn't say too much because there's a reason I asked that. It's about something that happens in the last issue. So
I was
we'll
about to say, yeah, I know what you're talking about. But
yeah,
even then, she doesn't
they don't
reference
get they kinda don't
exactly.
say too much. It's one of those
Yeah.
things that it's like, yeah, that's probably not gonna be in the movie at all.
No, yeah.
There's certain fantasy aspects of this that I'm just like, yeah, they're not leaning into that. I think they're
No.
leaning a bit more to the sci-fi isms with maybe
Yeah.
touch of fantasy.
Mhm.
But yeah, so we get these epic shots with her on the horse.
I was gonna say
Um,
some of the best artwork was in some of these shots.
that's honestly, if there's one issue to pick just because of the artwork, it'd probably be this
Yeah,
one. That one or the one with the dragon, because those
I
dragon shots
agree.
are amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, we see bits of Supergirl's past here. You know, the whole city that was chunk that survived and is
Mhm.
trying to survive, but they all die from their radiation, and this is where her mother dies. Bet we're not getting the death scene, but we're getting the funeral scene of her instead. Is probably what
Yeah.
those trailers are
What
showing.
was interesting about this particular story beat is I did not know that part of Krypton survived after the destruction. Because in
Mhm.
Superman, you always see it as like because just from his perspective, it just all got destroyed at once.
Yeah.
But hearing that, no, people survived, and they even tried to build like a dome for the people that did survive. Like that was really interesting to get more history
Yeah, we
on the
got
planet itself.
to my knowledge, there's 3 big ways of Krypton survived. There's
Hmm.
the most iconic way, which, uh, not exactly a place that lives, but you have, like, Zod and his people survive because they went to the
Hmm.
Phantom Zone and were exiled there, whatever other Kryptonians were sent there, right? So that's,
Yeah.
like, a set of people that survive. You have this version, and then you also have the whole bottled city of Kandor, which Brainiac had trapped on a ship. And so
Mm.
that might also be another thing that we see in the movie too, which is I didn't even think about that being an aspect that we could see in Man of Tomorrow. So um, it would make a
That would
lot of
be
sense that
cool.
we'd see that too. I didn't even like the fact that we could actually get that as a big plot point in a movie just like dawned on me. And I was like, hold on, I never could take a step back and think about this, you know? And so
Hmm.
it'd be really interesting too if I hope Supergirl has a big role in the movie because it'd be really interesting to see how she
Yeah.
reacts to something like that with her past. So, but yeah, um, this is really cool though. Getting to see
Hmm.
that past between them, and here we see how she's the hardest working there because they make this like makeshift shield because people are dying from
Hmm.
kryptonite poisoning, kryptonite radiation poisoning, something like that.
Hmm.
You know, space stuff. You just
Yeah.
gotta
Yeah.
believe, you know. Uh, and so yeah, we see all this happen here. As you know, she's riding on Comet and doing all that, and yeah, just amazing shots here as they're
Hmm.
outrunning the special globe, and seeing all these things, and Rito realizing like, oh, everyone's getting screwed up from the radiation poisoning, and because you know there's these like asteroid storm or whatever it is that's completely hurts the shield that they just made, so everybody's gonna die. So the only
Mm.
way for her to live is with her dad making the last of what he has to make a spaceship to send her off,
Mhm.
and so leaving everyone else to die. Crazy stuff here with the horse too. Like, look at this.
Yeah.
Going through it, it's like breaking through. Like, I guess going so fast, she's like kind of breaking through, almost breaking reality. I guess is how
I
it.
was gonna say that's what I'm getting with those shots there,
And
especially with this being no color. Uh,
yeah, what a great use of art here, just turning
yeah,
into the raw, like a raw black and white comic.
yeah. It's really
Um,
like she is, like, out of time.
yeah, it's
She just pops
fascinating.
that little globe thing.
Yeah, and she just yeah, destroys it there. So,
Mhm.
um, and so then she goes back, finds Krem, and just breaks the arrow. So,
He's like,
great.
"Aw, crap."
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do now? You know.
Yeah.
So here, the last 2 issues serve as, like, a big finale as they're closer
Mhm.
linked, I'd say, the other ones because all the other chapters kinda hold on their own.
I was gonna say they're all,
These
like,
last
little
2
self-contained story beats, and these
that's
last
a
2 were like,
yes.
yeah.
100 yeah. So, one of the great things about comics is that each issue is meant to be its own chapter. I think a lot of
Mhm.
comics nowadays, don't get me wrong, I like a lot of these comics, but a lot
Mhm.
of them don't necessarily stand as their own thing. A lot of times
Mhm.
it's like, "Oh, it's 5 issues, okay, here's part 1, part 2, part 3 of, like, one thing,"
Yeah.
Versus each of these issues, yeah, this is 8 issues of one story, but all these issues prior, each did their own thing, and it was
Yeah.
recognizably their own story, you know? You could look at an issue and be like, "Oh, I know exactly oh, dinosaurs,
Yeah.
that's issue 5," you know?
Yeah.
Um,
That's what I liked about it too, is, like, reading it through the first time, it was, I think, just a more fun experience,
mhm,
'cause and then going back to reread it, like, you could reread just issue 5, for example, and get a story
yeah,
there,
yeah.
and yeah, or look at a piece and go, "Yeah, I know what issue that's from." Um,
True. That's true.
so
Since we're talking about issue 5, I realized I didn't mention it by the end as I wanted to there. With issue 5, I mentioned this to you because I didn't want to forget
Mhm,
about sharing this, where I had an interesting thought of uh, they could be adapting this planet not in the Supergirl movie, but in another media or in another project potentially, because uh, we you know, Peacemaker had that big
Yes.
surprise ending, that people are like, "What is this?" Right? And we know
Yeah.
that is meant to be a world that hurts Superman, so I wonder if secretly that could be a Green Sun there, and that we didn't know that. And part of what
Yeah.
also makes me believe that too is, um, when we saw Peacemaker get transported out, it looked like a normal area.
Yeah.
And, uh, sure, this is a bit of, like, a special rocky terrain, but we also can see that a planet like this has natural things where it's like these forests
Yeah.
and stuff. But then the other kind of piece that really kind of made it put together is, you heard a creature's roar. Could it be a
Mhm.
dinosaur? I'm just saying,
Yeah.
I think that that might be the where the Salvation Run thing is in the DCU could be.
Yeah.
Um, so we'll see.
That would
I
be cool.
think
I get those vibes a little bit.
I was gonna say, it's like, we didn't get to see much of it, but when
Yeah.
I don't remember how much I focused on it when we were talking about Peacemaker, but when I heard that roar, it really threw me off because 'cause I'm like,
It
"Just a
looked like a
monster roar?"
normal. Yeah.
Yeah, like, there was just
Yeah.
something there. And so
Mhm.
if they adapt dinosaurs from this, and this would be the perfect planet for Lex to use as a prison,
Oh, yeah.
and so,
And he
like,
can
n
already do the interdimensional portal thing, so
yeah,
what
true.
he can figure out a way
Exactly.
to do it.
The portal is like, yeah, he literally has the gateway is like the globe. It's his
Yeah.
globe, so you're
Yeah.
right. So, but anyway, finish off the story. We get Supergirl, with her final confrontation against the brigand, but or those mercenaries, because the mercenaries, they have this role of essentially no man left behind, so they're gonna go back and rescue Krim. And so we see here, Earthy and Comet are there, where with Krim is part of
Mhm.
it, and then we get this other part with the big ship coming in, which is the big special
Mhm.
finale. See, this is a big thing. I get really annoyed with the movie trailers nowadays because I'm pretty sure, like, we got to see we've already seen a lot of this fight
I
on
know, I was gonna
in the
say,
trailers.
I was like, "I know how this is gonna go."
Yeah, we know how this is gonna go. I'm so yeah. So um, yeah, so we get these moments between Ruthie and Comet, and you get to then see Krim there, and
Mhm.
Ruthie's like, "All right, now's finally my chance. Now that Supergirl's not here, I can kill you."
Mhm.
She
Kill
can
him in cold blood.
finally get her revenge as she's wanted to this
Mhm.
entire journey, what's motivated her this entire time. And through here, and as this is going, we also see all these shots of Supergirl she's going through and, you know, doing what she can against Superman, which is putting up a really good fight. We see it
Mhm.
hit her, and then she starts flying off, and then she starts rebounding, here in a moment. Um, and so,
It was a good
she ends up
interaction too
flying off
between
and got
Krim
them.
and, Ruthie,
Yes, that is
'cause
really
he
good
was
here.
like she was trying to, like, pretend to be someone else, right? Or, like, do a voice or something like that to start, which was
Yeah,
funny.
he's doing all these things, and yeah, she allows him a chance to speak as this whole battle's going on up in space.
Mhm.
And,
And then
yeah,
he just starts mocking her father. I'm like, "Dude, you're digging your grave."
he is. Well, he knows he's
Yeah.
probably screwed either way at this
Well,
moment,
true.
so,
Yeah.
he's just doing what he can. He's just like, "Oh, he's just, you know, I just
Nope.
everything went dark, and next thing I know, I stabbed him. There's a
Yeah.
sword from my hand, I killed him." And,
Yeah.
we see that as there's all these things with Supergirl there, epic action sequence there. A lot of fantastic action shots here with it all.
Mhm.
And here we see Krim is just hurting Ruthie so
Yeah.
hard with what he's saying there, and where she's probably not regretting probably letting him speak, and
Yeah.
she's, relying on Comet to help him or help her feel better. Um,
Mhm.
we then see this moment with Supergirl where, she's now overwhelmed, and, they have a kryptonite bullet where she's about to get shot,
Mhm.
and she then calls for Comet, where Comet then leaves, which then leaves, Ruthie and Krim, meaning nobody is there to stop her
Mhm.
from murdering Krim. And, I gotta also say, I love this cover too. That's a great,
Oh,
great
yeah.
cover right there. I love how the planet's like a coral reef
I
above
noticed that. Yeah,
water.
that was
It's really
yeah.
cool.
I
So
really like their artist's use of color just throughout the whole
it's pretty
story.
great.
Yeah.
Having Matthew, oh my god,
I
Mathis
know. I was like,
Lopez on the colors.
Matthias, maybe.
Yeah, I'm sorry for butchering your name.
We do
Uh,
apologize. Mr.
but
Lopez, we'll say.
Mr. Lopez, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
His use of color is really good.
it is fantastic use of color. It's a fantastic creative team on this all around. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, picking right off from where the last issue ended here, Comet goes to rescue Supergirl as Ruthie has her blade up to Krim. And as this is happening, she then realizes, all right, let's make this a fair battle.
Mm-hmm.
As still the battle up there is going on. And we're seeing all this happen here is, yeah, just making sure here to, they have their big fight here, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, they're both. I liked the back and forth, the storytelling, how they're both having their big climactic fight.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. For sure. And so, yeah, we're seeing all this happen here. And Ruthie then gets
Bites
the
his arm.
edge. Yeah.
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 Even
Cuts off
cuts
his
off his
fingers here.
fingers.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
ooh.
So gets him there. And she's then ready to try to do the killing blow. But then as she tries to do, we see her try over and over and just is unable to kill him.
Yeah. Well, she says the good line where she's like, "If I go through with this, then I'm no different than he is." And
True.
so, yeah, she's
True.
like, it's not gonna bring her father back as sad as it is and tough as it is.
Yeah. And she's also there being like, why can't I kill you?
Yeah.
And Supergirl then comes in, and with what we see of
And I
what
was like, "Who is
Comet,
that?"
I know, right? I thought that too, and it's like, oh, that's what happened to that was Comet. Okay,
Yeah.
he got turned back to a normal guy, and that's why I was
Mhm.
asking earlier of like, what do we know about Comet? Because Comet's kind of just
Yeah.
throw it in there. I would have
All
liked
we
a little expansion on just where he came from,
Yeah.
because I think
All we
that's
know is
interesting.
that he just was cursed.
Yeah,
He
it
was
was
cursed to be
interesting.
in the body of a horse, and then she says it's complicated.
Yeah,
So,
right. They don't really
yeah,
touch on it. They just leave us, bro.
yeah. Our imagination can, you know.
Yeah. So, here then we learn where the big twist of the story, essentially, and I'm curious of your thoughts on this, but the twist being
Mhm.
Supergirl, she ended up lying about what's going on with Crypto. She knew Crypto would be okay, just as she
Yeah.
did after having the proper tear. The whole poison thing was fake. And
Mhm.
this was a whole journey for Supergirl to just care for Ruthie and to try to like teach her what's
Yeah.
right, essentially show her through her eyes like how to approach this and like
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, and I
and see
think
keeping up
it's
on her wing.
Ruthie was acting off of emotion, which we all would if we
Mhm.
were in that scenario.
For sure.
But you're not thinking
Oh,
when you're acting off of emotion, and I think Supergirl was like, "I need to show her. She needs to kinda go through the journey," and then that's why Ruthie couldn't kill Krim at the end because she was thinking about it. She was like, "Oh, this is actually not the right way to go about things." Um,
no,
so
not at
it was really
all.
good. I thought it was a good twist. So,
And like here, it's like really, I feel like Supergirl's kind of ultimate test as well, where
yeah.
she's trying to. It looks like kill Krim, and
Mhm.
then that's where she's like, "I learned it. All these moments, everything that happened." You're like, it was
Mhm.
intentional that you let yourself get shot and
Yeah.
Rosalie and the whole washing hands moment and them bonding together through all these worlds and
Mhm.
trying to make her stand up on her own and all these parts here. She was like, it's
Yeah.
everything's intentional here. It's intentional journey
Mhm.
by Supergirl with all these moments to help her. And
Yeah.
so and quite an interesting, on a story that seemed like it was story in a lot of ways built on spectacle. At the end of the day, it's
Yeah,
really built on characters' personal relationships and emotion there,
yeah.
which is interesting.
It was a good emotional, vulnerable moment that really, I think, solidified their sisterhood.
For sure.
So it was good. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we fast forward some time and we're seeing Gold Ruthie and Supergirl as they are together, and um here we see that Krim had his own place in like the Phantom Zone, and they
Mhm.
let him out, and he's then like, "Please forgive me. I always
Yeah, it's
just
like,
think about
"Oh."
that moment."
Yeah.
But Ruthie still does it in the end, just like how the story began. Uh,
Yeah. I mentioned that, I think before we started that it
yes, yeah,
same set of shots.
like poetry, it rhymes.
Mhm.
I like that. So my response to that. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, and that's how the story ends. So that is Supergirl, Woman of
Mhm.
Tomorrow. Um, what's your final thoughts on it?
Um, Honestly, I'm even more excited for the movie now. I know it's obviously not gonna be beat for beat the same, but this was
Mhm.
a great story, a great introduction, I think, to Supergirl, especially for me. I like that I've now read a comic for her, and, yeah, I had a fun time with it. It was great. There was a lot of humor and emotion, and, I really liked how self-contained it was. It was just there wasn't there was spectacle, but it was within just, Ruthie and Supergirl's journey. Um, so yeah, it was
We
really
got
good.
a lot. We
Yeah.
got a lot of we the story just has a lot. I encourage
Oh
everybody to
yeah.
go check it out. There's a lot of great ways you could go check out this story. Such as the first way I'd recommend is what you have there, Andrew, the compact stuff. All those compact stuff, $10. Can't
Yeah,
beat
it's
that,
great.
especially for a great story. Find it on a good sale. I mean, sure, you could get those for a few bucks off depending on where you look. But the even I think when I bought this regular version, it was also just like $10 on sale when I bought it too. And so
Nice.
great ways to check it out. They just
I gotta see
recently, a
say
year or two
DC's
ago,
really good with the way they distribute
yes,
comics.
for sure. That
Um,
those
yeah.
compact comics are one of the smartest moves that they've
Mhm.
arguably ever done. I'll be honest. Um, there's also a deluxe edition they recently put out that shows a lot of cool stuff in it, which I need to check out. And then there's always ways that you can digitally check out comics. DC has their own app that you can check out, and you can buy digitally lots of places. You're obviously the there's never going to be a lack of place to find
Oh, yeah.
this story because they are promoting it really hard right now with the movie.
Yeah.
Tom King's going around to a lot of places, and he just has stacks of these books everywhere he goes. Going to different
Yeah.
bookstores where it looks like they sent a big shipment just for him, and so
Yeah.
it's insane how much is there. So, but yeah, this is definitely worth a read. I liked it.
Mhm.
I remember really liking it the first time, but I think like it is a great story. It is a great Supergirl story. Definitely a great one to start off with as it is self-contained.
Mhm.
I won't lie, even with me being a big comic junkie, I haven't read I think this might be the only Supergirl thing I've read.
Oh, wow.
And I've looked into a lot of other Supergirl things, and I'm like, okay, what do I want to try to check out next? Because I am interested in checking out some other things before the
Mhm.
movie. And yeah, I was looking around at it, and it's just like, it's kind of overwhelming to be like, well, where do you begin with Supergirl? I think that
Yeah.
is a number one like great place to go read it is you could learn who her character is, and it's phrased through unique storytelling as
Yeah.
well as uh making the full use of the medium of what comics are. And
Yeah.
I just highly recommend that. Stories like this that really shows these are why comics are important and why they're their own thing.
Mhm.
And yeah, it was just truly a great experience. Definitely one that holds great value too, where you could just easily, you know, go back to it after a little bit and probably even
Yeah.
appreciate it more in some ways because it's just that really well done. Um,
Mhm.
which is something I can say about a lot of the comics. And so, even the ones that I really like here and there, so um, it's a story that's like an onion because it has many layers. So,
Yeah.
uh,
No.
But yeah, go check out Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. And yeah, it was a great time reviewing this. Andrew, where could the people find you at? What's going on?
So MCU Monday, by the time this is out, we will have been doing our Spider Noir reviews.
Nice.
We're doing one episode a week. All 8 episodes dropped, but that'll get us to when Brand New Day comes out.
Well, hold on. Wasn't there?
So,
There's something else I was thinking that. What are you not going to do X-Men 97 on the show?
oh
Because
yeah, I
that's
forgot about
July
that.
1st now.
July 1st. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, we probably will. I forgot about it coming out so soon.
I
Yeah.
know they kind of just dropped that of being
We'll
like, oh, crap.
probably wait till after Noir to
Okay,
recover it, I'm sure.
okay,
I don't know. We'll have to discuss that. But then
yeah,
on Cantina Happy Hour, we're going through Clone Wars. We just did our Mandalorian and Grogu review. So that was
there you
fun.
go.
So we're back with Clone Wars.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah.
Go check out Feast of Phantoms. I'll have a link down below to go check out Andrew and all those cool shows over there. And also make sure to find us on Before the Cape, where we also talk about Smallville weekly. We are just now started on season 3, which is exciting. And yeah, always a fun time talking about Smallville, as well as make sure you check out a bunch of other stuff on the channel here, such as more reviews, more comic, got some comic read-throughs with Long Halloween coming out.
Nice.
And then also have a lot of I have some pretty exciting comic interviews lined up, so make sure you check those out. And yeah, so without further ado, thank you all everybody so much for joining. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button, please do so, and I'll see you next time here at the Dingus Den. Later, everybody. Bye.